sitting position. When you sit, it is very important how you sit. That is why the Patanjali conveys sitting is that position, asana is that state in which you are stable like a rock, stiram. There is no rest, feeling of any uncomfortability. And this stiram is possible only if you are in the state of sukham. And that is why very nicely Patanjali says, state of the body is that posture in which you are stable and comfortable. So just scan your body. Maintain your normal back curvatures. Make sure you are comfortable maintaining the nature of the back. Shoulders are lifted. Chest is open to breathe in freely, breathe out freely. Chin is parallel to the ground. Eyes are gently closed. We will chant sound of Om 3 times, sound of Yog, sound of silence, sound of God. In the first sound, we will do the Akar sound prolonged. In the second time, we will do Ukar sound prolonged. And in the third time, we will do the Makar sound prolonged. Slowly allow the body to breathe in. Allow the body to breathe out freely. Take comfortable rounds of 2 breathings. One more round. Slow and deep inhalation. Long and complete exhalation. Slowly breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Oh. Om Sehna Vavatu Sehno Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, Alok ji, for organizing this lecture series. And today we are going to talk of second part of this yoga biomechanics. In the first sessions, we saw the three principles of biomechanics, that is the center of gravity, line of gravity, and the base of support. So in the first sessions, we discussed three principles. Now, second is about the anthropometry. That is also one of the very important subject. Normally, if you see the clinical application of this subject, when any student join the yoga class, he joins with some objective. And very common objective today is lot of people feel that yoga is one of the best activity for weight loss. And that is why they are interested in it. You can see out of 10 people, they are joining yoga class, 5 people are definitely joining for weight loss. However, so when they join for weight loss, they ask certain questions. And these questions are very important. And many times, if you don't have the knowledge what to reply, you are in trouble. First question they ask, okay, when I start yoga, how many kilos I will lose in 1 month? You know, very tricky. If you go to the weight loss center, they have a clear define. If you give 5,000, you will lose 1 kg. If you give 10,000, you will lose 2 kg. If you give 15,000, you will lose 3 kgs. So they are very clear. But in yoga teachers cannot say, I will with 1 kg, it will be 5,000. So one question is come. This is very common. Second question comes, which everyone is interested in. Know. What is my ideal body weight? Whether you are 20 kg, whether you are 30 kg, whether you are 40 kg, what is my ideal body weight? Mera vajan kitna hona chahiye? Everyone is interested to know. Even I think in this group also today, everyone is interested to know what according to my this thing, what my weight should be. So such questions, third question comes very commonly, according to my height, what is my ideal body weight? So all these questions are very, very important to know. And here the science which helps is the science of anthropometry. Now this is a very interesting branch of from the modern physical education. You have to keep certain basic guidelines in mind before you say anything. So this presentation is regarding this science called as anthropometry, which is a very well developed. Now, a lot of all the mothers, those who have seen the child, they have seen certain development of child up to 1 year, and it is very common. For example, when child is 3 months old, he started lifting the head. When child is 6 months old, the child 6 to 7 months old, the child started sitting. And when the child is about to complete 1 year, the child started standing and maybe started walking. So these are the important milestones. यदि कोई बच्चा 3 महीने का यदि गर्दन नहीं उठाता है, it means something is wrong. If any child is not able to sit up to 6 months of time, it means something is wrong. And if your child is not able to stand and walk up to 1 year and more than 1.5 years, it means something is wrong. So these are called as important milestones. Now these important milestones are very, very, and they are the science related with anthropometry. So especially when if you visit any child specialist सबसे जाते ही बच्चे का हाइट देखेगा और वजन देखेगा. This is any pediatrician. If you visit pediatrician, every time he will monitor. Rather than I suggest you कि when you become yoga teacher, any student comes to you, first measure the weight and then measure the height, and then only allow them enter into the yoga class. I tell you my experience. Sometimes we got the student who joined over yoga class who had joined 10 years back, and now again he is joining after 10 years. So we have his record of 10 years back. So we just looking at the previous record, we thought in last 10 years you have got 1 kg gain every year. So now your weight earlier was 60 kg, now it is 70 kg. And he is surprised. In last 10 years of time, I have put on 10 kgs of weight. So this is the power of anthropometry. So therefore, we have to, anthropometry deals with the measurements. And normally we in yoga sessions, we are not trained for these measurements. But let me tell you, friends, that every yoga teachers, especially if you are working as a therapist, then you should know how to measure height, how to measure weight, how to measure blood pressure, how to measure pulse, heartbeat, how to measure respiratory system. These are very, very common anthropometric measurements which we should know. They directly or indirectly, they give you plenty of information about that student. So that make a common practice. Now, up to some extent, doctors do this. But do it, see, doctors, even many doctors are also not doing it seriously. But this play a very, very important role in clinical application, and that we will discuss. So with this, I will start the presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat box. I will try to reply them during the sessions, or if not, reply after the sessions. So this is what called as the science of anthropometry. What is anthropometry? It is a systemic measurement of the size, shape, and composition of the human body. Size, shape, and composition. Anthropo refers to human, and metric means measurements. So anthropometric means the measurements of the human body. That is the science related with anthropometry. Definition. What is the definition? It is part of anthropology having to do with measurements of the human body, which to determine differences in races, individual, and related issues. I don't know whether you know any anthropometric example. I give you example. What is a classical example of anthropometry? You know, all marathon, worldwide, all marathon races are won by Kenyans and Ethiopians. So Kenyan and Ethiopians are the marathon winner. The reason is why? Why not other countries' player can't? So if you see, most of the marathon world record holder are done either by Ethiopian, either by Kenyan, because they have the anthropometric advantage. Their heart is bigger, their blood vessels are bigger. This is a genetic advantage, and this is the anthropometric advantage. And because of that, all can compete, but nobody can beat them, Ethiopian and Kenyans, because of this genetic anthropometric advantage. So this is a very classical example of anthropometry. So this is the what? Anthropology having to do with measurements of the human body to determine differences in races, individual, and related issue. So this is what anthropometry is, a science that deals with the measurement of size, weight, and proportions of human body. It is empirical in nature and has developed quantitative method to measure various physical dimensions. I give you another classical example, and this deals, the anthropometry deals with the gender, male, female, ethnic origin. I give you advantage of the Kenyans, age factor, time, and the generation. So these are the different factors which influence anthropometric measurement. Which are the types of anthropometry? Anthropometry are the two types. One is static, that is structural. Second is the dynamic, that is functional. We will see them. Static means without any movement, and dynamic means along with the movements what happens. So static and active. Now this is a very interesting picture. If you see this picture, you can see both the people, their body weight is same, 250 kg body weight, and here is also 250 kg body weight. Can we say both are same? No. One is muscular, one is fatty. So in this person, the fat is more, and in this person, the muscle mass is more. But if you see on body scale, both are 250 pounds of weight, lbs. But both are not same. Why they are not same? Because their body tissues are different. Outer body is same, but the inner body is not same. You can see. So this is a classical case of anthropometry. If you see this picture, now if you see in both the picture, the white shirt person look more fattier than this another beard person. So if you see this picture carefully, we feel on outer aspect this person, the white shirt person is more fatter than the beard person. But if you see the body fat, in this person the body fat is 9.1%, and in this person the body fat is 21.2%. You know, so that is why anthropometry is a very, this you can measure. So you can see here, here in this scan, the scan of the 9.1% and the scan of the 21.2%. So this is possible because of the anthropometric values. So many times in application, clinically, we get confused. So if you see, so this person with 9.1% is more healthier than the person of 21.2% of fat. Purpose. What is the purpose of anthropometry? Anthropometric measurements are very useful in many fields. For example, athletes understand that body size and compositions are important factor in sports performance. For example, a player with low percentage of body fat will be more successful as a jockey. Here the jockey means the horse rider. Here. So because in horse rider, it is very important that that rider is as light as possible. So all the jockeys, they are very thin people, they are very small people, because then only the horse can run faster if the player is small. So therefore a person with a low percentage of body weight, he is more suitable for a jockey, become a jockey in sports rather than football player, because in football player you need a more fat mass and more muscle mass. So I request everyone to please mute yourself. Okay, so this is the difference between the low body percentage. Just a minute. आलोक जी, मैंने आपको भी को होस्ट बना दिया है.
Okay, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the example. So like particular in sports, we need particular type of a body structure. This is very important. eh? So this is very important. A example is given about the jockey and about the football player. Sport coaches or rather than yoga teacher can also use these measurements to monitor an athlete's body to ensure they stay in peak physical shape. So this is what the purpose of anthropometry, what that person best can do. Okay, now here I tell healthcare professionals rely on body measurements to evaluate person's overall health. For example, very commonly used anthropometric value is the body mass index, BMI. And this BMI is calculated of the person's weight to height ratio. And based on the BMI, we decide person is normal weight, the person is overweight, the person is obese, the person is highly obese, or the person is having a morbid obesity. So this is possible only because of the body mass index, that is the measurement of person's weight to height ratio. Healthcare providers, insurance companies, and government agencies use BMI to determine if the person is underweight. Right now, this law has not come, but in future, the one law is going to come that your air tickets, flight tickets, and your other traveling tickets are going to be based on your body weight. यदि आपका 100 किलो का बॉडी वेट है तो आपका फ्लाइट का टिकट का चार्जेस दुगना लगेगा. यदि आपका 50 किलो, बिकॉज if it is not justified, 50 kg person is paying the same charges and 100 kg person is also paying the same charges, but aircraft has to lift the weight more. So there is a proposal going on to reduce obesity. One of the things which we can do, that all air traveler people will be charged their ticket based on their body weight. So even in the future, you will not be surprised. If you are 100 kg, then you have to pay the price of 2 tickets, not 1 ticket. So healthcare providers, insurance companies, government agencies use BMI to determine if the person is underweight. It is like, say, vaccine passport. Now, every time when you travel, you need a vaccine passport. If you have not taken vaccine passport, you have to pay the price for RT-PCR. So BMI is useful for underweight, overweight, obese. A BMI of 30 or greater indicates obesity. Because obesity is linked to chronic diseases, heart diseases, diabetes, certain cancer, knowing these anthropometric measurements can be a lifesaver. It can be a lifesaver. So that is why one of a very powerful anthropometric measurement is the BMI, body mass index. These measurements can be used to determine the prevalence of undernutrition and evaluate the need for nutritional support. So that is why if the person is thin, if the person is underweight, most of the time underweight is associated with undernutrition. So we have in our society, we have two types of population. One is malnutrition, second is malnutrition. You know, the shopping malls are there. So that is malnutrition. Malnutrition means एक जगह खाना नहीं मिलता और एक जगह इतना मिलता है कि खा ही नहीं पाते. You know, you need such a diverse population. So these measurements can be used to determine the prevalence of undernutrition and evaluate the need for nutritional support. Now, if you see this population, all three conditions are different conditions: wasting, underweight, and stunted. You can see what is wasting. wasted. You can see unshunted, no, no, yes. Nutrition, wasted, no nutrition. Nutritional definition is there. And underweight, you can see. So these are the three looking the same condition, but they are all different conditions. Another is the body mass index, which is very commonly there. How body mass index is calculated? Weight in kg divided by height in meter square. This is the formula to calculate body mass index. And based on the BMI, how we decide? If the BMI is 18.5, less than 18, it is underweight. If the BMI is between 18.5 to 24.9, we are normal weight, ideal body weight. If the BMI is above 25 to 29.9, we are overweight. If the BMI is above 30 to 39.9, it is obesity. And if the BMI is severe, more than 40, it is a severe obesity. Remember, severe obesity cases are treated, not possible, are very difficult to treat, even by the medical science. So therefore, medical science advise them bariatric surgery, surgeries for weight loss. But surgeries for weight loss is only for the people with BMI more than 40 degrees. So here you can see underweight, healthy, overweight, obesity, and the severe obesity. Now, another method is very in sports and in children, it is very commonly measured to know the development of the muscles and the body. That is the MUAC. All these are subjects are there in your yoga therapy and therapeutic yoga consultant. So this slide, this presentation is made of the topics which are discussed in the syllabus of both the courses. So here you can see your mid-arm circumference. You tape here and then you take a full round of the tape on your middle arm and you measure what is your MUAC. As I said, if you are going to gym, if you are under nutrition, then only these MUAC are measured. Otherwise, they are not measured. What is the MUAC cutoff? If MUAC is less than 13.5 or equal, it is normal, no risk of undernutrition. If the MUAC is 12.5 to 13.5, a risk of undernutrition. If the MUAC is less than 11.5, it is severe undernutrition. So even your arm circumference, upper arm circumference can also decide what is your nutritional status, whether you are undernourished, overnourished, or malnourished. Another anthropometric is the waist hip ratio. What is your waist hip ratio? So it is waist hip ratio is the one of the best estimator of the visceral fat mass percentage. यानी पेट और पेट के नजदीक आपका फैट कितना है. Waist circumference, weight height ratio, body mass index, waist hip ratio, a body shape index. So they are the, you can say, they are the important in the male and female. And if you see these two personalities, in Ayurveda, they are called as Vata people, Kapha people, and Pitta people. But modern science call them endomorph. Endomorph is like a Pitta personality. Mesomorph. Mesomorph is like a combination of the Kapha and the Pitta. Pitta and Kapha. So, endomorphs are Kapha Prakriti. Mesomorphs are like Pitta Prakriti. They have a more fat, more muscles. So you can see. And ectomorph are like Vata Prakriti, which we say they don't develop fat. Their muscles are thin. they looks like undernourished. But if you see human beings are divided in these three categories: ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. In Ayurveda, we call Vata Prakriti, ectomorph, Pitta Prakriti, mesomorph, and Kapha Prakriti, endomorph. So, which are the important anthropometric measurements? 4 anthropometric measurements are commonly registered in with the doctor healthcare. One is height, second is waist, third is the waist circumference, and fourth is the hip circumference, waist hip ratio. So if you don't want to go more detail, you just measure on these 4 anthropometric measurements and try to collect data from your friends, from your relatives, from your nearby, from your nearby, then who can help you to get this. So this is about commonly measured anthropometric measure. So here you can see this is how your waist hip ratio. When you calculate the waist hip ratio, you have to keep the important points in the mind. Waist circumference is not measured around the narrowest part of the waist. Measure horizontally around the waist at the level of navel. Do not compress the skin with the tape. So many times when we do this waist circumference, we try to go more higher and higher. So this is the indication that more higher is not going to give you any relief, rather than you remain at lower higher and do. Okay, health risk from adipose tissue. So suppose if you have more fat, your waist hip ratio is not properly working together, then you develop the waist girth and the health risk. And what is this normal? 78.94 centimeter, woman 64 to 80 centimeter, overweight 94.102 centimeter, here 80 to 81 centimeter. So this is what, and here if you see, this is giving you idea. Suppose if my body weight is, I'm 55 years old, and if my body weight is around 73 kg. So here you can see I am 65, what I said, my body weight is height in centimeter. My body weight is 6.7 centimeter. So you can see here 6.7. And my body weight is approximately 100, you can say 120 lbs. So if you say 120 lbs and 6.8, so my point is coming here. So this is what a BMI. So suppose if my height is 6.7 and if my body weight is 120 kg, I am underweight. So this is a very useful chart. Most of the doctors keep this chart in their clinic, but I think if you take the printout of this chart and keep in your file, it is very important. It will decide based on your height and the weight, what is the normal ideal body weight. You can decide it for all the family members, your student. Just use this chart to calculate what is their body weight. And this is a height weight. Suppose if my height is 6.7, you can say here 6.1. So you can say, suppose my height is not 6.7, my height is suppose 5.5. 5.5. And what is my ideal body weight? 53 to 65 kg. So 5.5 ideal body weight is 51 to 62 kg. So accordingly, this chart is very important. I think every yoga teacher should have this chart, which gives you a proper weight, ideal body weight according to the research and according to the scope. So this is what a chart, and this chart is taken from the LIC. So all thanks goes to LIC of India. So this is what anthropometric yoga and the anthropometric measurements. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Just Rashmi has one question.
Yes.
Yeah, she is asking about this measurement same for males or females,
No,
or
they
is
are,
the variations are there?
yes, yes. This is a very important question because these measurements are different for males and different from females. And these measurements are also different for Indians and different for Europeans and Africans. No, Europeans and Americans. You know, so every country should have their own anthropometric values. But unfortunately, we don't have over Indian values. For Indian person, what is the ideal according to height? And so we don't have our own values, and that is why what happens, we are dependent on the Western values. But ideally, we should have, like for example, there is no malaria in America. America is malaria free. But Malarian guidelines are coming from America. And जिस country में malaria है ही नहीं, वो country आपको guidelines बनाता है. Why? Because we have not made. See, because there was no YCB, that is why Yoga Alliance came into picture. So yoga certification is coming from America, not from India. India is the origin country. It is like you have to learn Japanese, and American and some country other than Japan will certify. You know, so that is why we don't have many anthropometric Indian values, Indian male values, Indian female values, and that is why most of our doctors are adopting the Western values. But that is not correct. It is the weakness of our system. We are not good in the research, we are not good in measurements, but otherwise, हर चीज में blood pressure ले लो, ये ले लो, you should have your Indian anthropometric value, and these value change from male to female. जो male में apply करेगा वो female में नहीं करेगा. Yes. Any other question?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. If you have any question, kindly put on the chat box.
Okay, sometime also these values misguide you also. That is also, for example, कोई स्टूडेंट आपने आया है ना, आपने स्टूडेंट की हाइट पूछी, स्टूडेंट वो आपको बोलेगा his height is 5.6, but don't rely on that what student says, because many times the students have not measured it. It happens in blood pressure. Many times lot of people previously, cardiologists used to check blood pressure of every patient. But now cardiologists feel this is a nursing job, why he should do. So nowadays the doctors stop taking blood pressure. They are dependent on the medical staff. They are dependent on nurses, ward boy, and they check the blood pressure. Correct? But what happens is many of these, they are not doctors. And many of these healthcare providers, they know, but they don't know the severity of everything. So that is why many times you have to do the height, weight, instead of dependent on any of the yoga teacher. It is better that you yourself are involved in that activity. Then only you will come to know. So this is the most important part of anthropometry. There are some more questions.
Yeah. Two
Sir.
question asked by one question is asked by Aarti.
Ah.
If the measurements will vary according to height or not? And second
Yes.
is there any separate Indian method to measure BMI, or is it the same methodology follows by the worldwide?
At the moment, it is the same methodology follows. But as I said earlier, we don't have Indian values. That is why we are adopting the Western values. The hip measurement will vary according to height or not. Yes, hip measurement will vary according to height. So that is why the height of the person play a very important role. Other, I tell you, if you see have to Indian, in Indian, if you have to see, Indian, there are two community. One community is Punjabi, one community is South Indian. You know, the body structure of Punjabi person is different. The body structure of South Indian is different. Both are coming from the same. Why? Because the food values are different in Punjabi community. The food values are different in South India. Here, and that is why the bony composition is different in Punjabis. The bony composition is different in the South Indian. So if any South Indian is there 40 years of age, and if any Punjabi is there 40 years of age, there will be significant difference in their body structure. Here they are taking milk and milk products from birth, and here they are taking rice and rice products from birth. And that will reflect in their anthropometric values. So when you measure them, all anthropometric values, you cannot take blindly by Indians, Americans, or Japanese. You have to, in India, in our country, we can see so variation. So how we can decide one measurement is the best measurement? So that is hip measurement will vary. That is true. Is there any separate Indian method to measure or BMI or the same as WHO? At the moment, the answer is no. We don't have. Because one of the reason is there, even our doctors, even our clinicians, practitioners, we are not research, our mindset is not research oriented. So that is why until and unless our mindset, we promote research, genuine research, honest research, these values are not going to come. So if we develop more research oriented population, then we will have a more Indian values related with this. So basic anthropometric, you should know, as I said, how to measure height, how to measure weight, now one question comes, and during our medical college, one of our teacher gave us a very good formula. That formula I will share. For example, if any person is coming to you and he says, what is my ideal body weight? My height is 5.7 and my weight is 80 kgs of body weight. How will you decide कि 5.7 height का आदमी का body weight कितना होना चाहिए? Anyone from the group? This is a very common question you will come in the yoga class.
Sir, just remove the dot and add +2 or like that.
So tell me.
Around 60 or 59.
59.
Like that, sir.
Okay. Where you got this formula?
No, sir. In school time, when I was the student of home science, we used to apply such kind of things, sir.
Okay. I will tell you in what I do. You ask what is the height of the person? 5.7. how many centimeter it becomes? 5.7. 5 becomes 150 centimeters.
172 centimeters.
172 centimeter. So 172 centimeter minus 100.
72.
72 is his ideal body weight. You know, now you are not 100% accurate. I know this, but you are 90% accurate. So this is a pure anthropometric clinical application, what I do in my practice. Earlier, earlier cardiologists, I tell you another example. Earlier, old generation of cardiologists, what used to say, if your age is 50, then your 150 systolic pressure is normal. So if you go to visit cardiologist and if your systolic pressure is 150, so they say that 150 at the age of 50 is normal, 160 systolic blood pressure at the age of 60 is normal. It is not considered as a high blood pressure. But if you visit new generation of cardiologists, they will say 150 is your high blood pressure. Because nowadays the high blood pressure at the age of 60 is 120, which you will get not even a 1% of population. It means every person who is 60 kg, he should start antihypertensive medicine. This is a new generation of cardiology, new guideline. So previous generation of used to think more clinically. अभी का तो ऐसा हो गया है कि no person should be without any drug. Every person after 50 years, he should start, whether he is having blood pressure or not, he should start the blood pressure medicine. So you can see how anthropometric values are taken into consideration. So this the body weight idea I gave you, calculate the person's height in centimeter minus 100, and in this is for male, minus 105 for females. So this is the ideal way to calculate the anthropometric. But whenever in my practice also, I see that if any person's 50 years of age and 150 is the systolic pressure, it is considered as a normal pressure. I don't put on the medicine. This is how I use the anthropometric in my yogic medicines, in my yogic clinical application. So same way, you can also take out these values and use them. At least pulse hai, respiration hai, blood pressure hai. Now, aajkal to one more instrument has become very common. Now it is a family instrument. That is the ये आपका ये आया है कोरोना में आया है ना ये pulse oximeter बराबर. But many important thing है कि try to learn properly application of these things. Pulse oximeter is a very good indicator. If you have any person उसका breathlessness हो रहा है, he is breathing, and if you see the pulse oximeter is less than 95% oxygen saturation, you have to tell that person कि at the moment you are not in good shape to start the yoga. Please wait, rest some time, improve your oxygen saturation, and then come. So this is clinical applications of anthropometry. So like this, you should also have every yoga teacher should also have the glucose meter, the what you call them blood glucose meter, which measure the blood glucose. So these values are going to have the essential, it is part of the essential requirement. Always keep your tape, measuring tape in your bag. Measuring tape is a very, very important instrument. So if you see anthropometric, it is a very, very interesting science, and you can apply them clinically and you can use them clinically. It will give you a lot of information which student can't give, but their measurements will give you. So this is about a short presentation of these anthropometric values. Take common values. It is a very big science. Everything आपको वो करने का. If you have some knowledge about the fat percentage, then you can buy a machine of the body fat calculator. Mainly these machines are used by the dietitians and the gym people. But if the machine will cost you 8 to 10,000 rupees, but it will calculate the fat percentage in every person's body. So this is what the clinical applications of the anthropometry in yogic practice. Okay, so with this I have finished my talk.
Yeah,
and
thank
I-
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Alokji, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And already one part of this session has previously done. That was Dr. Ghanshyamji few days before. Okay, this is the second part. Just we organized as a for the promotion of the promotion and for the acquaintation of the yoga professionals. Okay, I think we are just a collaboration of just we would like to say all the participants that we are just organizing organizing the sessions or the regarding the yoga therapy or therapeutical yoga consultant. Okay, collaboration of earlier I told you that that is the collaboration of a Bharti Yoga Vidya and Prana Yoga Therapy Center, Mumbai. And we are just a few days before we just started the organize the classes that is continuing. If among the candidates, if you have any shown interested, kindly contact me later on. Apart from this, almost I send the WhatsApp message to all the persons who joined to us. Okay. Otherwise, you can go to the bharatiyogavidya.com. You can see the fees structure and all the details that is available on our website. Okay. Or you can contact me personally as well. Yeah, thank you very much, Ghanshyamji. Wonderful
Okay,
session.
Thank you, Alok.
And this topic is, I think, very big, but you encapsulated all the ideas within the limit of the time. Almost 1 hour it took, but bullet point you just explain during the session. Okay, regarding the recording of the session, you can contact me personally. Okay, although it will be available on the YouTube. Okay, if you want to download the session, you can contact me later on by the personal by the organization number. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Om Namah
Much.
Shivaya. Thank you.
Om Namah Shivaya, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Om Namah Shivaya. Wonderful session.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Striya Iyer.
Yes, sir.
Aarti, thank you, Aarti ji, asking the question.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, it's okay.
Thank you, Pramod ji.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.